We love getting your questions, so we want you to keep them coming via Facebook, Twitter, and on our webpage. Who knows, we might just answer your question here in the studio audience next.
Oh my.
Welcome back to the Daily Helpline. Brandy is here with us, and we've been answering the selfie videos you send in, and we're ready for some more.
Yes, I'm ready. Bring them on.
Let's see the first one.
All right.
Hi, Spirit and Miles. I have a couple of adult children that used to call me all the time, and now they call me less and less, and so I have no idea what's going on in their lives, and it makes me really, really sad. How do I talk to them about calling me more often without me sounding like an overbearing mother?
Oh, you feel sorry for her?
Yes, because I don't ever want that to be me. I want my daughter to call me all the time forever. So,
do you really think that's going to happen?
No.
Okay.
Because she's already, you know, trying to push me to the side, you know? But, I don't know. That's a tough one. I think that people shouldn't take for granted the relationship that, you know, like a mom relationship. You only get one mother, you know? And I think that they should call her more, and I think she should tell them how she feels about that, and just tell them that it hurts her that that they don't call. It sucks.
It does. You can clearly see it hurt her. I mean, you can just see almost she was almost in tears. It's a hard one because obviously you could see the sadness behind her eyes. I mean, she was just about in tears. I felt for her, but I also I think you got to be careful. There's a fine line between inviting your kids, especially if they're adult kids, back into your life and guilting them into it. Because if you put guilt on the table or try to shame them into spending more time with you, it's going to push them further away. And you did ask the question, but I think it was the wrong question. You said, how can I not sound like I'm an overbearing mother?
Yeah.
It's not about how you sound, it's about how you are. And so if you are an overbearing mother, you need to look at that. Because guess what? If you put some space between them and let them be who they are, they're going to be interested and they're always going to find their way back home. It's okay, too, for you to tell them how you feel, though.
Yeah, and I agree. You know, you have to make it a pleasurable experience, though, because as I was watching that, I felt so bad for her, but then I also felt bad for her children, because I can imagine what that conversation is probably like. They know you, so they can hear the sadness in your voice, and she's probably spending a lot of time saying, well, you know, I just wish that you would call more, or I just miss you. How is things going? And that pushes the child further away, because they're like, because they don't want to hear that. They don't want to hear that their parent is hurting, or when they call, if the only thing that you're talking about is how much you miss them and how sad you are, then that pushes them away as well.
But she came across like she doesn't even know what's going on in their life, like she's not included at all.
And she's hurt. Could you hear the sad?
Yes, I could.
So I know the kids can hear the sad.
Right.
So this is the thing, is that sometimes you got to fake it till you make it, and when they call, you got to sound upbeat. Let them know that you're happy to hear from them and you can't wait to hear from them the next time. And then the other piece about this is that you may want to just schedule some time. You know, you tell them, hey, I really wish that I could hear from you. Do you think that we could have a call like maybe once a week? Like, could Sunday be our day at like 1 o'clock and you just call me and just, you know, 5 or 10 minutes, just check in and just let me know what's going on in your world.
Them kids just need to call their mama.
Well, yeah, but you know what? See, but the other piece of this too, though, when we do this, we forget what it was like to be a kid. If they're adults and they're young adults, they're just now spreading their wings. They're doing exactly what you wanted them to do as a parent. That's go out, discover who they are, and remember how hard it was when you were first getting started. So they may not want you to know everything. Give it time. I promise you, they'll come back around. You got to occupy your own time, though, right now.
That's true.
Yeah, it's mama time.
I call my mama every day, though.
We got time for one more, I think. Let's take a look.
Hi Miles, hi Spirit. My name's Mindy. My fiance and I will be the first couple to get married at the new Levi's Stadium. We can only invite 18 guests though. How do we decide who to invite without hurting anybody's feelings?
Okay.
I think they should change their wedding plans and elope and then have a big party, because you're gonna hurt a lot of people's feelings.
See, and that's a good point, because that's what I was thinking. I'm thinking, so what's more important to you? Being able to say I was the first couple to get married in the Levi's Stadium, or being able to share your day with all the friends and family that you really want to be there?
Yeah.
So let me say this, because there's really no judgment. You just have to figure out what you want to do. And if you decide that, hey, we really want to have our wedding ceremony here and be that first couple to do it, then go ahead and do it, but then see how you can include everybody else. Can someone videotape it and they watch later? can someone Skype it and you can do it live? Because believe it or not, you can actually do that. You can set up a group Google chat, you can do whatever you want to do.
FaceTime.
And yeah, and you can have those folks there. So figure out what's most important to you and then figure out how to incorporate everything else around it. At the end of the day, it's about you and your mate, and that's what's most important.
Yeah, I agree. I think you're probably overthinking it and worrying too much about whose feelings are going to hurt, but I understand this stuff. We've had this question or a similar one before, and I think, do you think women get more stressed out about the guest list or men?
I think women
both.
drive the men crazy with the guest list. That's what I think. I think we drive you guys crazy about the whole wedding.
I didn't know, because the guy heard that and I was like, who cares?
Right.
That was my first thought.
That's my point.
It's your day, but I get that this that could be a trap.
Well, but he might be happy though. He said Levi Stadium. I'm getting married at the Levi Stadium.
Well,
that could be big.
No, I'm talking about it's their day, but why you get so caught up in who's there and who's not? If you're, but I understand it, I guess.
Yeah. So what would you say? What advice would you give her? She wants to know what to do.
I think you just need to get married and enjoy the moment and stop worrying about what everybody thinks about it.
I love love.
Yeah.
That's so good. Yeah?
But a lot of people are going to be hurt because they want to see their friend, you know, exchange vows and get married and love and...
I think about a few months after you're married, nobody's going to remember anything about that.
Oh, no, yes, they will. They'll all come. The audience is like, what
you didn't even invite me to your wedding. That's what we do.
And then it'll be that, you having a child? Oh, are we going to get an invitation to the baby shower? you know, I mean, certain things we just don't let go of. And so you need to have some real conversation about this, and you need to decide, this is the first step to forever.
Right.
What do you want the setup to look like? Okay? All right, good luck. Hope it works out. Now, coming up next, Miles, Brandy, and I will answer some of your questions that you asked the camera crews out there in the streets. We'll be right back after this. We love getting your questions, so we want you to keep them coming via Facebook, Twitter, and on our webpage. Who knows, we might just answer your question here in the studio audience next.